Hey church leaders, today we're taking a look at the 4 roles that a senior pastor can't delegate. After all, proper delegation is the key to maximizing the strengths and talents of your team while becoming more focused on your responsibilities as a leader in your church. But before we get into the video, take a minute to hit the subscribe button. Here at the Unstuck Group, our goal is to help pastors grow healthy churches by guiding them to align vision, strategy, team, and action. With every tool and process we develop, our priority is to help churches help people meet and follow Jesus. So we're here to help you get your church unstuck. Subscribe now so you don't miss a video. The first role that you can't delegate to anyone on your team is primarily about ownership of helping people buy into the vision at your church. It's your job as a senior pastor to communicate a clear vision that can answer the question, where do we sense God's taking our church in the future? Now, it's important to note that just because you're the primary communicator of vision doesn't mean that you're the only one who can receive or speak into the vision. In fact, vision is often best discerned in community with other leaders in your church. Getting clarity around your vision is one of the most important components for having a healthy and aligned church. The second role that a senior pastor can't delegate is being the primary spiritual leader and teacher. And because spiritual leadership can't be delegated to anyone else, you must instead delegate what gets in the way of great teaching. And this means a senior pastor must do whatever it takes to make their teaching effective every time. This means studying, writing, delivering helpful teaching, and gathering feedback from people with an outside perspective to help you improve. And you also take ownership for making sure you have a solid teaching team to help you ensure a high quality even when you're not in the pulpit. We recommend that a lead pastor teaches around 35 to 40 weekends a year and then leave the rest to that teaching team that you're developing. Another role that you can't delegate is leadership. No matter how big or small your church or team, you possess the primary leadership role. To drive leadership development in your church, you have to be actively engaged in your own growth as a leader. The fourth role that a senior pastor can't delegate is what we call the culture champion. Your church's culture is a set of behaviors that define what the team does, how it behaves, and what it values. You can't leave culture up to chance, hoping team members will figure it out on their own. The senior pastor must set the foundation of culture. Leading by example here is key. Once you define your culture, you have to be the one to model it. You must also ensure key leaders reflect those cultural behaviors, because if they don't, the rest of the team won't either. And if the rest of the team doesn't reflect those behaviors, then the church will not adapt to the culture in the future. Consistently refer back to culture in vision casting, in staff meetings, and in decision-making moments. Don't let cultural issues slide because there's just too much at stake. Your church's culture influences the quality and effectiveness of the ministry work done by your staff and the effectiveness and growth potential of your church. Great leaders own the roles only they can play, and only once you understand the duties and responsibilities that must always remain in your hands can you begin the process of handing everything else off to the members of your team. Thank you all so much for tuning into today's video. I hope you found it helpful. And if you would like to dive deeper, I wrote an ebook on this topic called 4 Roles a Senior Pastor Can't Delegate. And we'll link to how you can get it below. You can also find more in our podcast series in episodes 93 through 96, where we expand even further on each of these 4 topics. If you found this video helpful and would like to see more like this in the future, make sure to hit the subscribe button. You can learn more about how we help churches get unstuck at theunstuckgroup.com.